From the farmlands of KZN to our afternoon express kitchen. Now, ladies, we are focusing on 15-minute meals, keeping a chop in the kitchen.
Definitely, the stakes are definitely high.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. What a dad joke. Okay, let's let us in on the joke. The Seared Asian Beef Salad is packed with nuts, crunchy vegetables, and a ginger, lime, and chili dressing. And the best part, it'll only take you 15 minutes to make. Here for it.
You know what I love about this recipe, Palisa? The fact that for once you can actually try and go with a bit of a more expensive ingredient for this type of dish, because everything else is quite reasonable. You've got your cucumber, you've got your carrot, you've got stuff that are generally quite reasonable. So you can kind of splurge when it comes to the meat choice in this instance. So I normally say if you're going to be making a steak or adding some type of meat into your dish, try and go for a thinner steak, try and go for a steak that cooks quickly, or try and go for a steak that has as much of the juiciness as possible, and juiciness comes from the fat. So if you want to take a look at this steak that I've got here, Tara, I heard you and your husband going on about, I put this on the braai, I put that. You guys are practically putting everything on the braai. So this steak right here is definitely one that you could definitely put on the steak as well.
It's a good steak.
It's a good steak. And you know, another thing I love about steak as well, and I know a lot of people like to keep it simple, just salt and pepper, and that's it. I like to marinate my steaks. I like to put as much
sauce. It's about the sauce.
Exactly. It's also about that sauce, and also is an interactive thing where you're able to taste the meat itself, the flavor of it, but also all the additional flavors you've put in there. So as you see here, I've got my pan. A lot of people like to choose a non-stick pan when they're making their steak. I say go for cast iron. Cast iron is by far the best type of pan to have when you're trying to do stuff like searing, when you're trying to do stuff like getting a crust on your steak and stuff like that. So as you see, I've got my steak over here. I'm heating up my oil. One tip, very important, before you put your steak into, or your chicken into your meat, make sure to pat it dry. What this does is that it reduces the risk of steaming in your pan when you're trying to cook it, because you don't want steam when you're making a pan. You want that beautiful crust on the outside. And I've made sure that I've made this step, I've taken out the steak quite a bit of time in advance to make sure it comes to room temperature, because another thing is you want even cooking. Because we don't know how thick your steak is until it's time to prepare it, it is also best to make sure it's at the right temperature throughout, and also it's patted dry, and also whatever spices and flavor you put into it can adhere to it.
Tara, I want to find out from you, how do you like your steak prepared?
Well done.
You like well done?
Well done. I'm that cooked right through.
You want to make sure that that baby was put to bed a long time ago. I actually like mine medium rare.
Same as Wade.
Same as Wade?
Yeah.
Okay, then we towards the end, we have to get Wade in here to have a taste.
Yeah, no, I think you need to taste it.
Yeah, teach us how they do.
I will teach you how. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut our big steak into half here, because I want to try and do what you guys have both said. One person asked for a medium rare, another person asked for a well-done steak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely choose the thickest steak for the medium rare, and then I'm going to choose my thinner steak for the well-done. So even if you're doing this on a braai and you've got friends over and everyone wants their preference, try and choose the hotter part of your braai. Try and use that for the medium rare, because you know it's going to cook quicker and easier, and then choose your thicker or the less hot part for your well-done steak and stuff like that. So I'm going to go in. As you can see, I've made sure to generously season. And the first one that's going in is our thin steak. Normally what I'd do is I'd start with the fat first to make sure we render the fat. And that's what we're going to do here. Just want to get all of that oil and make sure it doesn't burn.
And Dumi, another element of this dish is we are making an Asian seared beef salad. So the Asian flavors, how are we incorporating that into what we're making?
So that's what I also wanted to make different. So I've got a plain steak here that only has salt and pepper. And then to this one, I've also got a bit of salt and pepper, but we're doing a 5-spice flavor because we're saying our seared beef salad. To this is our 5-spice. And into the 5-spice, all the ingredients that make up the 5-spice. We've got some fennel seeds, some cinnamon sticks, Szechuan peppers, some cloves, as well as some star anise. I don't know if you use any of these spices in your cooking.
Sometimes.
Wade
likes to experiment with all the different spices.
Okay, well then, I think this is your time to experiment then, because you're going to make the sauce for us, or the dressing for us that goes onto this beautiful salad. And while we're cooking the steak, just to show the viewers here, as you can see, it's beautifully seared on the outside, and I'm cooking the rest of it. And you can actually just get started on the sauce, which I see you're starting with your garlic there. We've got some garlic, we've got some soy sauce, some sesame oil that we've already put in there, as well as some fish sauce. So depending on the types of flavors you like, Tara, I don't know how much of a steak person you are, or a beef person, or Asian flavor person you are, but you could definitely play around with that and make sure if you like, I like my sauces a little sweeter. So I'd probably add a bit of honey to that.
I actually quite like Asian cuisine, so Yeah, this is going to be good.
Yeah, Asian flavors are always so interesting for me because it's just so packed with that flavor and it's definitely undeniable. Tumi, as you are putting that last steak in, I'd like to call Wade into this conversation. I know that he's the taster extraordinaire. There we go.
You want to help?
Come in to help, Mommy. Come, let Auntie grab Asia. Tumi,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
another recap of what went into this dressing.
Okay, perfect. So in here we've got some soy sauce, we've got some sesame oil, we also have some fish sauce, some garlic, and then we've added some cashew nuts as well. So what I was saying is that if you wanted to add a bit of sweetness, you could definitely add your honey, you could even add a bit of sugar, some hoisin sauce, whatever flavors of your choice. But Meneer, I see you sitting over there. We are here to make you taste our food and make...
Tumi, you've got a little foodie here.
Oh, do we?
She's telling us all the ingredients. She's like, that's chili, that's carrot.
Oh, perfect. So I've got a bit of a taster for you. Can I ask you, Jintara, just to add a bit of the sauce for Wade, using that spoon. And you, sir, can just taste for us. Let us know what you think. Obviously, if you've got an allergy to nuts, definitely leave the nuts out completely. But you eat everything.
I eat everything.
Okay, perfect. Please let us know if this is up to your standard. And as the braai master, since you're going on about braaiing, if that's up to your...
Look at that. I mean,
some nuts.
teamwork makes the dream work.
Multiple size. Okay, it's perfect.
You want it to look like Asia. Asia, look at Daddy's having a taste. How does it taste?
Very good.
Amazing?
I think this is taste at Asian Indian.
Yeah. Okay, well, it looks like it's a 10 out of 10 from Wade.
100%.
I have kidnapped the baby. If you would like to get your hands on this recipe, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. Kisses. Mwah.
Is this Asian something?